guys are not the one that elect candidates to contest for primaries. They give you a choice. You will not realize whether you like them. Some of you will not. Some of you will not have campaigned for Peter Obi. It's because of you don't have a
person available. Yeah.
It's the person available. So let's okay. What have you done? What have you not done?
That was saying yesterday.
Is that life? See, the worst place to be in life is the position of the masses. The masses have no say. Anything goes. I hate to be in the masses. It's the worst thing you can do for your life. To remain in a spot and a position where you are part of the masses.
Choice within the circumference.
So as you strike now, you na masses now. They fly shout from that city, but no influence. We need influence. We need influence. We need technologies. We need influence. So when the elections came, the next thing, Mr. Buhari was announced for a second time. Everybody was shocked. Nationwide shock. Like, am I not? You guys remember, right? How did this man enter? We wanted him out. People were shocked that the man represent. I was just laughing. It is not by who was popular on the media or maybe how many people design political. It's more than political shit. Election is more than political shit in this country. I remember one. I think yes, the time of President Adua. To be when he was ascending the throne from Obasanjo, to be sincerely honest with you, I never heard of the president. I never heard of the name Yaradua till I just woke up one day he was president. I didn't see him among the major movers and shakers in terms of people that were campaigning, vote for me, vote for me, and from this party, vote for me. I did not see him anywhere, from nowhere. It just because they are kingmakers. Mr. Tinubu now that wants to come on the throne now, what did he tell you? I supported Mr. Buhari when he was there. I supported this one when he was there. I've helped this one to get into power. Emilio come. So, it's the crescendo, it's the zenith of his political ambitions. You need to ascend that so that the political journey can be complete. From governor, state house, all that position to president of the nation. Now, my soul finds rest.
Even though for one day before he died, that man,
Emilio come to be president. If you look at the audacity, if you want to know the audacity of a man, watch his statement. Emilio come is my turn. All of you gather your head together is no more than my Emilio come is my turn. Look at the audacity. You can't make such statements without having a backtrack. Which technology did this man use to? Because even the primaries that they conducted, I heard that Pastor Bakari did not have one vote.
Not even one.
You mean his members did not
even one.
My God! My God!
I followed
not one. 100 million down the drain.
The man said,
God, not even attract one.
What? Was telling them that when Tinubu was doing that
means it's 100 million worth nothing.
Sir, it means that the money did not have weight. Because people even think it's money that give you weight. The 100 million did not even have weight. If you gather all the families, the votes together, Tinubu's
and the people that announced it kept annouing
it was 400 plus more than all the candidates combined together.
Another 1 to 10 times, nothing.
If you dash all the votes or all the collective candidates to one candidate against Tinubu's votes, Tinubu still defeated the president over 400 votes. Oh, is that the shaking? Oh, the man can't stand there. Oh, the man, but he still defeated the youth there.
And all those people are seeing that frailty. This man naturally.
People say, no, let me solve one, let me dissolve one doubt. Because people said, oh, the man bribed them as bribery. How much bribe? For people. What is it? And so you have to go through those, because the truth is that the aero engineering you want to go and study, there's no any other saint that have written textbook and codified it. That's as they did not codified it as a textbook for you to read. So you have to pass through that one. And reading his textbook means that you're also engaging in soul. That's what a system is. Oh, I don't believe in identity, but you read his textbook. You have engaged his soul. Now it now remains on you, if to be like Daniel, to engage his soul and not be corrupted, but take what you came for. You understand that? Take what you, that's intelligence. So technology can be sourced from anywhere. Anywhere I study anything, I study it. Study anything. The journey is far. You know, there was one time I just there are some things I can't talk about it. So, I'm supposed to run. Do you know that the moment you source any intelligence or technology from a realm, the moment you are able to source any intelligence to develop any technology on this earth from any realm, such realm where you sourced that technology from, the realm, its entirety, and the embodiment of presences that are domiciled in that realm come and fellowship with you. You now become a member of the squad. I say this so that when you now see those tech titans, you see Mox, you see Zuckerberg. Say this guy is not even a spiritual guy now. He's a hidden or something. You know the way we lambast, we just trash them. No, don't do that. It's not wise. Don't do that. The person you are talking to is a principality. It's not by wearing tie or maybe has he the sick before, okay, has he raised the dead before, but his technology is going to save 1 billion. His technology help 3 billion people around the world connect. Your anointing has he amplified to that stage. So put respect where respect is. It doesn't, in warfare there's something called honor. You see, let me not go into the ancient arts, because those times, if you are fighting war with fellow soldiers, and as you are fighting your sword and shield, maybe the other soldier loses his shield. As a man, especially if it's a one-on-one combat, as a mark of honor, the opposite soldier will throw his own shield away, so that they will fight sword to sword on the level playing ground. In fact, if in the course of the fight, maybe the other guy's sword, maybe by mistake or something, or hit his hand or whatever, the sword flew away. The opposite soldier will either throw his own sword for a hand-to-hand combat, or throw him a spare sword while he goes to get another. They must fight till death on the basis of honor. Honor. So you haven't even accessed the things that these men have accessed, but we trash them. I posted Elon Musk that, oh, is Elon Musk a believer? Oh, is Elon Musk, you need to know for that. Sometimes he pays me because the way I feel for humanity, I don't say, okay, is he this one, is he that one? First off, bro, you did a good work. If you didn't invent this Facebook, maybe I won't be here, because it's Facebook I do my posts.
In fact,
did you see?
Many of us.
Dude, can you see that the mass product has helped us to connect? Think about it. Even his impact is beyond what they even claim. We won't be here now.
Yes.
We won't be here now. Yeah. Is he the analog baby father? Is he that want to find ourselves?
No wonder.
Yeah. So there are things that we must contend for, but then we must look at the scope of contention. Now that we have looked now and we have seen the technologies of now, it will be foolishness now to want to contend for the same things, because there is progression in everything. And I said in that Telegram group that you know, in the old world where I came from, there was the things that many people are excited for about now. There was nothing to be excited for. I gave an example how that even the security systems that existed, there was a way that they wired their houses to with the roots of trees. They will intertwine together such that there's a security system that existed in the old world, such that if you are coming from a mile away, there's a radius we get into that will alarm the house that a visitor is approaching. That technology will still come again in the future age. But I won't discuss. I've discussed it on my time one time, but I won't discuss it. How did it? Because in the roots of the tree is electricity. This knowledge was not on. I didn't Google it. This spirit research. It was only later I went to Google. Then there was something like the bacterials or something like that can the roots of the tree can charge electric conductivity.
Yes,
It's still even under investigation, but it already existed. So the way to chart the course of the future is to study the past. All that you see that will come to be has already been. It's a circle. It's a cycle. 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 And so you'll be able to know that the person is coming. So if you are going to contend with this technology that are around, you have to contend for something higher than what is already here. Can we do that? That's the question. Do we know what it takes? Have we satisfied the basis for justice? Have we studied all the available knowledge concerning that field before we start clamoring, Lord, more? Because we say, Lord, more of it, but the books are the things that have already been created in your field. You've not even covered them. So that would be like a wasted investment, because it's like a deposit on the field that is not even irrigated for growth, for growth to generate. Have we contended for these things? There was one time I was just that's why I have a problem with it. I have a big problem. I feel it's the biggest challenge of mankind that needs to be solved. Bridging the chances between life and death. I feel that is the biggest problem that needs to be solved, because in my estimation, mankind's lifespan is too short to sufficiently achieve everything. So by the time a man is reaching the peak, not even the peak, by the time a man is just reaching the peak of the scratch of his technological potency, he's already 88, he's already 70, he's already preparing to cut the glory. The man dies and another generation has to start. Because usually there are no disciples on the ground. Even if there are disciples, the disciples are too weak mentally. Because the throne that you see him sitting there, if you tell his work ethics, you will know that it's not something you spoon-fed or you come and tap into grace. The discipline, the culture, the work ethics, the mental critiquing, the hours, it's not, you don't coach that. Even if you coach it, the student has to make up his mind. Many people are not like that. So when the man dies, the dimension is closed. That's how many the dimension closed. Moses that parted the Red Sea is not a technology. What did he do? Oh, the voice of God say, just what's it called? Stretch your rod forth and the sea will be parted. And the voice of God not told you to do different things. Did you not do it? Did it work? So if it's just the voice of God, why do we hear the voice of God and certain things we go to implement it and it didn't work? Meanwhile, for Moses, we didn't hear that when he stretched his rod to the sea didn't pass. So maybe there was a point when he did some trainings for that 40 years after he came out of Egypt, when he went, when they took him to the training ground for 40 years. What did he do in those 40 years? Because there is a way that the dealings of God in a man can be codified as an history book to be studied by coming generations. We don't have men that codify their knowledge in systems. Not summation, not summary of the Bible story. Okay, and Moses walk of water, and Moses part the sea, and Moses summary. The mechanics, we don't have it. There is a mechanics to everything. A man that sits on now is professor, he can tell you how he did it. I said maybe he has not been mature, maybe he comes out. He can tell you, I used to have a feeling, something here, there's something like this. Then I hear something like this. Like, okay, I hear it from my ear. But at the point in time, it was not common. Then I remember I did this, I did that, then it happened with this progression, then it happened with, they can measure it. Even if that, most times or sometimes, dealings are always individualistic, but it can still be codified and studied as a reference point. You can now put together 200 strong men that have worked in the prophetic dimension and studied the 200 ways each of them operated individually in the prophetic. That will be you gaining the knowledge of 200 ways in which the prophetic technology was codified and now studied and now know that. So it means they can come, because patterns repeat themselves. It means they can come in any of these 200 formats. So first, you master that knowledge first. Then you will now look forward to, is there any other possibility that can exist in another way of trading aside these 200 ways? And then if it happens to you, or it happens to anybody, you keep documenting it, codifying it. We don't have that laborious system of documenting things. So even the technologies that we've tracked in the past, how many now do we even know? How can they be able to do so many wonderful and miraculous things in the past time? Today those things are lost. What happened? How were those technologies? How did they miss? How did they go out of those things? How did they go out of this? I was reading about Elisha, the school that they created. Is it Elisha? Yeah, it's Elisha. When the axe head fell, and then how do you raise the axe head? Don't even go and swim into it. Just put one something, and then the axe head will float. And put one stone on one skin or one wood, and then the thing will go. What balance? That technology. So it's a very distant. It's a distant journey. Let me round up. So I close with this. If you want to discover any technology, spiritual technology, mystical technology, please know this and know this for yourself. That this technology that you contend for will come in relation to your field. You must understand this basic one first. Wait, what are you contending for? It is true that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Paul wrote it down, but we didn't see Paul doing all things there. If you see Paul doing all things, please show me. He specialized in a lot of things, but he had areas of mastery. So in the ordination of men, there are areas of specialization for you. That's why the callings and the giftings are different. It's just a way to tell you that everybody has an area of specialization. So what do? Discover your ordination. Which place are you supposed to be specialized in? And you begin to contend for technologies, for the intelligence to build certain technologies in relation to that field. That makes you a master. It makes your prayer have direction. You are already, from that step, you have shown your course that you know what you are doing. You know what you want. And so when in that prayer state, in that fasting state, in that meditation state, answers come, you are not confused. You are not trying to, okay, is it this, what is this one for? You know what you were praying for. So you can see the clear line of progression. That's the step to take. And so if we ask many people now, what do you know that is your area of specialization? What have you been called to do? Where is that field that you must master? Most people don't know. It's very important. And so if you find yourself in sciences, it is important that whatever you are contending for, since you are clear that it's like God sent me to the area. You know, people don't see science as a core. People don't see agriculture as a core. People don't see engineering as a core. People don't see fashion as a core. People don't know that you can design fashion wears that speak of the coming government. Your fashion can usher in the next era.
Yes.
Your fashion can be customized after certain entities. That once those fashion are displayed as an emblem, it creates a pathway for them to travel into our world and find manifestation. What is your concept behind latest styles? Latest Gucci wear, latest design? What do you think is behind it? Is it the eyes is tired of seeing? You want to
discover that it's always following a particular trend to cause certain effect in people.
So and what have you said concept? Exactly.
Just to cause
and what they put it in celebrities, because celebrities hold the influence. Those ones they have labored to be masters in their field. Yeah. So they have the intelligence to put the technology on like that. So you must labor circumspectively according to your field. When you know your field, now begin to look for things that you can contend for that will sufficiently be greater than what is already on ground. That's the standard. The generation, mankind's our evolving is progressive. Whatever we contend for has to be a progression on the previous generation. It's very important. Otherwise, we will just be wasting our time. So let's understand this and let's go with this knowledge.
So how do we consciously generate idea concerning technology? So intentionally generate idea for the technology in a certain to solve certain area of life.
Yeah, it comes with. I think we've discussed this on some previous months. Observation. Observation. For example, when you observe something, you can quickly spot if there are loopholes or there are places that can be upgraded. And then I spoke in the Zoe class on perspectives. Basically, even what you can solve is limited to your perspective. You can find an object appear in the spiritual realm. It doesn't have a form, but your mind has the ability to craft a form. And once you craft the form, it takes shape and it becomes reality. That's how even some demons are betted. There was a man that betted a demon via an echo.
Via an echo.
I lock it here. So leave that one. It's not the money class. Leave that one. Alright. So yes.
But it's a part of technology.
I just wanted to know, is it echo?
Is it part of spirit technology?
It was the word I didn't capture. A-C-H-O. Okay, I get it.
Because there are things that did I mention this? There was a being I spoke with that told me, that gave me a 700-year timeline of what I'll be doing after I'm away from here. This life.
You know I'm being mortal, I live here for.
Nah, I don't want to be mortal for here. I don't actually have a long time to spend on it, so that's the problem really.
Sure.
Yeah. I know. Oh, you don't understand where I've gone to. I'm not concerned about long life.
That's the more
it's not like, won't you give birth? Your mommy now, this pity your mother now. So it was even one time, so one lady, your mother, that's how I just considered. Because there was a point I was walking away. Yeah. There was a point I was walking away when certain entities now blocked me. It came like a dream gate, but it was not a dream. Two of them, they appeared in the parlor and they were looking at me. They looked at me for a long time and I was looking at them back and they looked at me. And one of them spoke up in Yoruba. He said, Agba, you go nowhere. Meaning old man. And that day that the event was going to happen, I wrote about it on Facebook. I thought I shielded my thoughts. I only put it on Facebook. And sometimes I think everything on Facebook is crazy. I only put it on Facebook. I don't know the mechanics entities used to view posts. Do you know that you write things on Facebook, entities are aware of what you write on Facebook? There was a time when I was going through a lot of grief. You know, my grief, the grief nature I carry did not start here. There is nothing on the earth. For example, I'm a young man, well, in this body. There is nothing on the earth that should sufficiently be able to grieve me that much. I mean, what will I say I've done or lost in this life that should cause so much? Of course, I've lost people, but it is not sufficient enough to cause that kind of grief in a man. It's not from, it didn't start from here. And so in that moment of grief, as a few weeks ago, one of the entities just said, post on Facebook. Because sometimes on Facebook, I use Facebook as a way to discharge the grief. I must discharge the grief. If I contain it, an entity won't. If I don't, I'll just, one day I'll go like that, come back. I'll just go and not come back. So, it just said she, it's because the entity is a she. Post so on Facebook, but don't reply any comments. When I posted, people, someone that has never commented on my post for months commented. I didn't reply. So even sometimes when you see someone post and you don't reply your comments, this guy is too bright, don't used to reply comments. Don't always judge from there are different things, there are different reasons for different things. Don't always look at it's only this man action, like this man said don't like the response. It's sometimes not always like that. You know. Well, so that's by the way. I was not going to talk about the 700, forget that I'm not talking about it again. Let me just answer the question. So yeah, like I said the last time, it can come from observation and knowledge. And basically, when you find that this is your field, even without even observation, the natural inclination is for you to press and say, okay, God, what would you have me do? This field, what am I to bet? What do you want to appear on the earth through me? What should I be doing? What should be done? You must understand that that's the critical thing of mankind's evolution, that you are here for something. A lot of people think that making money to take care of your family means you are a successful man. Or maybe having children, starting a family, you finish school, you had a 2-1, you had a good certificate, wow, my so fine dress. That's not what your life is about. With all your money and your comfort, money and comfort is good, I love it also. Good family, good children, glory be to God for those that have. When that is done, did you do what God sent you to do or not? It's a critical question. Otherwise, you never leave. You never leave. You just occupy
that great pillar for yourself.
So of course, when you are searching, you are like, what do you want me to do? What do you have me do? So it's that search and that question that leads to the answers. And then the answers begin to come. And then you now begin to receive inspiration for different things that you should do and different steps you should take. And I tell you that inspiration is not in the natural realm. Do you understand? That word inspiration is not that a man, okay, think about it. A man sat down and said, So you are not only engaging the inanimate object, be it a virtual reality or a physical technology, you are engaging the man's soul content. Because everything that is sourced by spiritual intelligence or mystical intelligence, any English you want to use, they are both the same thing. Anything that is sourced by that kind of intelligence must pass through the filters of the man's soul, because it's the man's soul that will give an interpretation. He just knows that something can fly. The man knows that we can make something fly like birds in the sky, but we don't know what we can do to make it fly. So it begins to get to work. How about we create a kind of contraption, a kind of containment that can carry maybe 2 people for starters? Let's just do something like that. Carry 2 people. Okay, to obviously have something like those so they can come in, come out. To have something like a chair, is creating his soul interpretation of what he saw that something can fly. He's beginning to give idea. So the thing is laced with the soul. That's why it's not about the technology or who brings the technology. It's about who is bringing the technology. The technology is not the problem. Who is bringing it? And as long as sons don't contend from the mystical intelligence it takes to bet things that can solve problems, the solutions will keep coming through other people that don't believe what you believe, and they will keep being other ones. You can't lord over someone. You are using my product and you want to be lord over people. Your prayer can't change it. To shift from job economy to creators economy, you can't change nothing. The dominion is in the you dominate because of what you created. You didn't create anything and you are which dominion? You did not create anything, but you want to where? Oh, now, Father, we thank you, Jesus. You know, our ministry is spreading on Facebook. Glory to God, we are colonizing Facebook. You are who? And not many people, you know, in 3 billion people are colonizing Facebook. Today, tomorrow now, when Zuckerberg wants to shadow ban you.
Go ban you for 24 hours, nothing you do.
Nothing you do. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. So it is very important that to all the prayers and fasting, but you want to dominate. How is this dominion going to be possible? It's not going to be possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. Have you ever sat down to think what is truly intelligence? What is truly intelligence? That someone can build a system over a young. Different people came with their ideologies. Oh, this system is Babylon. It's a satanic system. It's Babylon who? It's Babylon that. So name of church, so name of movement, so name of ministries, this and that. The thing is still standing to do it. It means that the system is more fortified than you think, and you're underrating it. You put in half-baked work, and then you just say, okay, because it's written in the prophecy that, you know, the Babylon has fallen. It's falling. But the guy that wrote it was standing somewhere when he wrote it, and in the realm where he was standing, it is not permitted to use past tense. Whether it has happened in your realm or not, they don't care. In this our realm, Babylon is falling. But it's not interpreted in your own realm.
Yes, sir.
So we now come back and say Babylon is falling. Now Babylon is falling means everybody glory to God. Hallelujah. Just keep declaring it, then go and sleep. That is the interpretation. Or we can awake and say Babylon is falling, but why am I not seeing it falling now in my day? And that is critical thinking. You critique an information. Why is it not falling now? It's falling. 2,000 years is falling. Or what is the time component? What must be done? What kind of technologies can we come? Let me tell you something, because this mystical technology that we are talking about, if the technology that you want to go and do now, and that you want to invent, you can't even invent something like Facebook because it's already patented. Have you seen any app that does like Facebook? No. It's not surprising you. There's no app like Facebook now. There's no app like Twitter. If you notice all the app, there must be a slight differential. You can't go and create something now with what's on your mind, news feed, status view. What other things does Facebook have? Facebook shop, Facebook games, Facebook live stream. You now go and create all the features. They will sue you. You and your ancestry will be back from this. You can't create it. There is a patent. There is a copyright patent. Yes. When you are doing something, you must do something that at least slightly different from what's on ground. Now, if your idea of contending for mystical technology is to come and create another Facebook, you have already failed because you can't compete with the Facebook that is here now. So, the scope and the stretch of the assignment is to go and contend for something that is higher than Facebook. How many can labor that labor to bring it? It's not by talking. Do you know what it took for that man to build the Facebook to that stature? He met Yahoo on ground and other companies there. There were other companies before Facebook.
Yes.
Move them out, blew them out of the competition. Half of the world is on Facebook. Then you want to compete and run. You see that even now that I say you want to compete, some of us are already shaking, including the people that are not here, but they are going to be here. They are sold. Something is already shaking. And now they're not saying, oh, I didn't know this thing is wide like this. Yes, sir, it's very wide. The scope of the assignment is very wide. It's very wide. That will now have you thinking that, oh, so if I want to bring something like this, if I want to bring something like this into reality, if I want to bring something like this into reality, I have to contend for something greater. I have to contend for something greater. Who is ready to go on that journey? Something is said, but when you talk about dominion, do you know that the countries today regarded as G7, the countries that are regarded as top nations of the world today, have their strength in technology. Technological advance. Technology powers a nation forward. With technology, your economy begins to respond because almost everything is on an automated spree. Because a country that is laced with technological input has shifted from the labor generation to the creator generation. In other words, its citizens are being encouraged to create rather than, I was seeing something on my timeline. People are okay, vote for this, vote for that. When people just carry it on their head, it's all good, it's glory to God. Me, I won't say one word. It's good, but based on what I've seen, it takes more than one man. You are coming as a man to fight a system. Do you think people that sat on that throne have not been good men? You think it's about being nice? You are coming as a man to fight systems.
Go swallow it.
Not even a system.
Systems. Where you want? Why did they appoint 12 apostles and then say this is a prophetic formation of government? And then to press that governmental feature more, we now find in the book of Revelation where they're not naming this guy is a pillar, this guy is a pillar, this apostle is a pillar, these are the 12 pillars. To tell you that for that government to stand, they needed to be pillars.
And a certain number.
Pillars. So where are the pillars? So it can the man, you know what I'm talking about, is a popular choice. He can go there and try his best. Godspeed, I really wish the best. I really wish he can try his best to turn things around. But the truth is that systems war against systems. If it were possible to be one man, this country, not even to leave the world, this country would have changed. Because yes, there are men in this country that if you tell them that if you sacrifice yourself today now at the altar, like you die physically, Nigeria will be liberated. They will go to the altar. Yes, there are men like that in this country. They will lose their life for Nigeria to rise, but it's more than one man. That's why even the man prayer and the statue can't deliver the vision, because there are systems that must be in place. Whatever strategy you get from prayer, whatever intelligence you get through prayer must be interpreted in the visible realm. And so we have to contend for technologies. We have to maybe paper, then a guard, ride a horse over several thousands of miles to go and deliver this thing. Why can't you think of a technology that can bridge my voice from here in Nigeria to another person in China? You see, that inspiration is not in the natural realm, because what informed you naturally to create a device like this to bridge the gap in communication? You can't find it in the natural realm. How did you know to put this and
Just
this,
allocate.
put this wire and this wire, put this. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not. That's why. Yeah, that's why whatever comes to your mind in those moments, do not discard it as, oh, this is just because our idea of inspiration is natural. So we don't really see the weight and the urgency to carry out on the information that we've gotten during those our seeking times of meditation. Because we feel that the inspiration is in the natural, maybe my mind just created the solution. Like, sometimes you can hear whispers. The whispers are whispered to awaken what is in there. Sometimes, like the drill we did this morning, sometimes you come with certain technologies, certain manifestation. I spoke that there are people here that your rank, what you are doing now is not reflecting the rank that you are. In terms of deposits that are readily available in here and now in your soul containment, not in the spirit to traffic to educate you, is in your soul now. Whatever is in your soul is readily available to be used. So this is not more talking about corporate, spirit, soul now, consciousness. But it's like this. This is your education. The consciousness that went to school, this is it here. The innate consciousness, the spirit education that came with you is here. That's it should be like this.
Can't we say that's a divine metric? Like something that has been planned. So as
yes,
to put
there are things that are
journey.
planted in certain men. Those guys I see invented a lot of things. Check their history for me. They were thinkers. They were always observing to the night sky, into space. Their mind will just go like this. They are thinking. And that thinking is searching. The innate knowledge that they were embedded. Most of the things I talk about are innate things. That's called
Question.
They need a basic school teacher. It's not me that will teach that one. They need a basic level teacher that will teach, okay, this is the mechanics of meditation, this is how to hear the voice of God. From Bible, from when your fellow man is talking, even from TV, when you are even from TV you can hear the voice of God. Oh man, there's some kind of a spirit can direct you to watch a movie.
We wrote a book like that I spoke about it. How to hear from God, situations around you.
So they can get all those things. Like when I started my class in Zoe School of Business in Close, I said I'm not going to entertain any question of, sir, how can I stop sleeping when I meditate? Because I don't find it serious. Especially for a class that is tagged special class, which should be something like advanced class. Yeah, you are not serious. If something really matters to you, you do it.
You find a way.
You find a way. You are not going to react after and the person that is asking me, you have many years, he has been hearing, how do you not say? If I give you $25 million, don't sleep throughout the night to meditate. Will you meditate or will you not meditate?
The man will just
no, will you meditate or will you not
sleep,
meditate?
like-
You will meditate now, motivation. You are saying something to hold on to. Where your mind is the money. Because the thing you are doing, don't believe it.
Let them say you are going to die tomorrow. The only solution is meditation.
Sir, do you know that people will not, they will put their leg inside buckets of water.
I feel there's this selfish, self-centeredness
You
that
don't want to
is still in
stretch
man.
yourself
I
because-
don't even know whether that's what
You don't know what's at stake. So
The pastors have been doing things for them, so they feel that okay.
That's also one of the problems. And that's why
the mentality of they will do it.
man always need a price.
that's
or
why
something.
that's why in our meeting we are few, because this meeting, the emphasis on this meeting is to come and be a creator, not to come here and watch anybody prophesy to you or do these things. You understand? But in mainstream church, for example, now, and truly, there was a time for that. There was an era for man of God, come, bring your wheelchair, bring everybody, heal. So glory to God, testimony. I had 5 years, 5 blood, I had this, I had that. There's a time for that, but there is a shift in the body of Christ now, in which everybody must. When I started years ago, when I started shifting into this mindset, all the things that I used to do before, launch people into spiritual. Now if I do impartation, I don't even stand up. I don't impart anybody. Launch people, do this, do that. I don't even do. Even when I see someone, okay, come and be healed or something, I just heal yourself. The motivation or the ginger before someone came to me with this thing, I just say, what do you say? You say broken neck. Anjel, heal that guy. Like physical crack, neck crack. Visibly. And those times like that, I know my motivation don't die. That's why anybody that has not heard of me before, if you come and see me now on stage, you say, I'm not sure say this guy, to get power like that. Right? Maybe if you hear me, well, you don't. Now, maybe if you just hear me talk, you can ask, okay, maybe he knows 1 or 2 things. Because that's my motivation to, or the kind of exuberance we used to bounce for all these things on TV. They put your leg in my shoe now. On someone's wedding day. On someone's wedding day, I was doing like this. Everybody was doing like
Just to show.
and those things, we have done those things. We have done, but we did not find any satisfaction. There was in fact, those things, it just closed. Not that it cannot be rearranged, but it just closed so that you can put your eye forward and see that there can be more. We need to move from individual personalized things to thinking of systems. In other words, how can I turn this thing that I know into a system that can benefit a wide range of people, even when I'm not present there?
Yes.
Even without my presence there. So that's the focus on my page. He sent me a text. That time it was, I think, rank of the night minister. He sent me a text. He said, wow, so I like your page. There are many powerful things and blah, blah, blah. It was now, like that. I said, okay, thank you, sir. Then when he now said something, I said, but cut down the jokes. Because I realized I joke a lot. And sometimes if you don't have discernment, say, oh, this guy likes joking. So just cut down the jokes. Especially if you are talking serious things, just finish it serious, don't add jokes. Other thing you can be, I say, okay, sir, thanks, sir. I researched on this guy in the spiritual. I was talking to an entity. The entity was with me, seated on the chair, came to a Stargate. And some of the guys, because some of the people that say they are powerful, I used to research them. They have access to entities. We do the research. So I said, do you know John the Liberty? So we know him. There are entities that have asked, do you know this person? They say we don't know him. But the person is popular. Do you know what I mean by we don't know him? It's not that the person can.
He's not making any influence.
He can't shake it. Maybe he prophesy. He can do all of that, but wait. Stature. Do you know that thing that's where is baby? The Bible calls it baby food. You don't. No, you don't know it's baby food. My God. Do you know that the prophetic, the peak of the prophetic and the apostolic dimension is the foundation of the age to come? You don't understand. The peak of the apostolic and prophetic mantle is the foundations, are the foundations of the age to come. The foundation is where? She is the ground building, is the underground. Is the underground. Maybe that building is several stories. Is baby food. So I said, do you know this guy? I said, yes, now we know him. We know him. And other things like that I can't talk about. So when I respect the guy because I've done my research. When I respect some men, I respect them because I've done my research. So let's leave these things. Are we clear now? Because I've not met him physically. I don't want to show all of us to stay with. You know the way this connection works. We just mic done.
There's no question.
Is there any question?
Alright, we're done, bro.
God will